If we're going to start at the top of the board, we might as well start at the actual top of the board as we look ahead to the 2026 NFL Draft. And if you're looking for the best player in next year's draft, I know the conversation is going to start with the quarterbacks. We've got a really intriguing class of passers in next year's draft. Obviously, Arch Manning is going to be part of that conversation, but Lenora Sellers from South Carolina, Cade Klubnik at Clemson, Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. You've got Drew Aller at Penn State. So many top quarterbacks that we're kind of expecting and hoping to take that next step and prove themselves to be true franchise quarterback prospects for the next level. Those guys could, completely disappoint and fall off the map. They could rise to that number one overall pick kind of range. But if you're asking me who I think the best overall player is in next year's draft class as we get ready for the 2025 college football season, it's a safety. It's Caleb Downs coming out of Ohio State. Again, this is a guy, a highly touted recruit coming out of high school, spent a year at Alabama before transferring to Ohio State. And he just does everything at such an elite level. He is such a fantastic player. If you need him to play center field and show off the range and the ball skills, the instincts to shut down an entire deep corner of the field, deep half of the field, he can do that for you. He can create big plays in the passing game. You need him to come downhill, fly down into the box, make stops against the run, make stops in the backfield. He can do that as well. He can hang in man coverage. He can come down and work in the slot. And oh, by the way, he's an electrifying return man. You can put him back there in the return game and he can take it to the house every time he touches the ball. I know we're probably never going to see a safety go number one overall. Heck, even Kyle Hamilton a few years ago, who was a top 3 prospect probably in that class, fell out of the top 10 just because it doesn't seem like the NFL as a league values the players that play at that position, even if they're elite talents. But Caleb Downs, man, I can't see him being any worse than a top 5, top 10 pick just because he does everything, again, at such an elite level. So, again, that's my pick right now. As we look ahead to the 2026 draft, Caleb Downs, to me, is hands down the best player in this draft. Again, he's the younger brother of Josh Downs, the wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. So clearly they've got talent going in that family. But man, just go look at the tape. Go see the plays he makes in every area of the game. There's really not a flaw in his game. He's going to be a top 5 prospect, I think, wire to wire in this draft class. So don't be surprised if he comes off the board in the top 10 next year after another fantastic season in Columbus. The one big storyline that we kind of are still waiting on coming out of the 2025 draft class is Shemar Stewart has still not signed his rookie contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. And I feel like, first, this is what the rookie wage scale was supposed to prevent, right? We were supposed to have a situation where you slotted into a specific spot, you had a number attached to that spot, you got your 4-year guaranteed contract. If you're a first-round pick, you get that 5th-year option, which obviously a guy like Stewart would have. But it seems like there are certain teams, and the Bengals seem to be one of them, that have to make things harder on themselves than they need to be. And again, this is a team that has notoriously not been the best when it comes to making sound organizational decisions. They've had issues, again, re-signing their guys on time. We had Joe Burrow finally got his extension after waiting. We had this offseason, it was Jamar Chase and T. Higgins who both finally got paid, but it took forever, and it probably cost them a lot more than it needed to had they gotten that done months earlier. And they're still dealing with the Trey Hendrickson situation where their top pass rusher still doesn't have a new deal. It's gotten so bad to the point where he's finally had to be very vocal and very clear about what's happening, about his frustrations with the communication. So he's still not signed. And then you go and spend a top 20 pick on another pass rusher in Shemar Stewart. And it's bad enough when any rookie misses mini camps, starts to miss OTAs, misses any kind of on-field work where you're not getting up to speed, you're not getting those real live reps and getting acclimated to the speed of the NFL game in a practice setting. It's particularly bad when you're a prospect like Shemar Stewart, who has all the talent in the world, all the physical gifts that you need to be an elite player at the next level, but needs so much work from a technical standpoint and produced so little at the college level. This is a guy that had 3.5 sacks his entire college career. So you're telling me that guy is the one who's not getting practice reps, who's not out there getting that experience and being out there and developing those skills and getting that coaching and developing, again, the techniques that he needs to translate those physical gifts into actual production at the next level. If you're telling me that's the guy that's missing all that action, I think it's just twice as bad. It's just that much worse for a guy like that to be missing all that time. And so I don't know what the Bengals are waiting for. Again, the reports we're hearing is that it's, technical stuff about offset language and what happens in this certain scenario. Why are we having this conversation with the number 17 overall pick, who at a position where you're already having problems contractually with your veteran star guy, to where we don't even know if he's going to be in the building. He's going to be on the field this season. It makes it that much more important that you get immediate production from the top draft pick in your draft class in Shemar Stewart. This is a guy who's going to need all the help he can get from a development standpoint, from a rep standpoint, and you're costing him all these opportunities by just not hammering out this offset language, these technicalities in his contract that should be pretty cut and dry with the way the rookie wage scale is set up. So I still don't know what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing in that organization. I think they're creating more problems for themselves than they need to have. And again, with the injuries they've dealt with, some of the other things they've dealt with, they don't need to create any more of that than they have to. And so it's going to be interesting to see when that finally resolves itself, how much of an impact that has on Shemar Stewart's development, his ability to make an immediate impact for a team that, again, is hoping to bounce back. If they can stay healthy, be a playoff contender again after the last few years, struggling with injuries, struggling to live up to their potential. And now we've got an issue that, again, they're creating for themselves. It's going to make it harder for them to do that. Hopefully it resolves itself. Hopefully he's ready for training camp. He's on the field as soon as possible. But, man, I guess I'll believe it when I see it.